Sinapakturan in the capital century is Byzantine period usurped alongside the medieval period. The Roman Empire split into two separate empires. The Eastern Roman Empire became known as the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire continued on from 1,000 years after the Western Roman Empire including Roman collapsed in 476 CE. The Byzantine Empire ruled most of Eastern and Western Europe throughout the Middle Ages. Byzantium was a Christian state whose official language is Greek, although influenced by the Greco-Roman cultural tradition. The Byzantine developed their own political system, religious practices, art, and architecture that were distinct and not simply a continuation of an ancient Rome.
Constantinople is an ancient city in a modern day. Turkey that's now known as Istanbul. First settled in the 7th century BC. Constantinople developed into a thriving port thanks to its prime geographic location between Europe and Asia and its natural harbor. In 330 AD, it became the site of Roman Emperor Constantine's or New Rome, a Christian city of immense wealth and magnificent architecture. Constantinople stood as the seat of the Byzantine Empire for the next 1,100 years, enduring periods of great fortune and horrific siege, until being overrun by Mehmed II of the Ottoman Empire in 1453.
Hi, I'm Glenn Michael Tigarejo. Pope Francis is a unknown Supreme Pontiff, Roman Pontiff, or Sovereign Pontiff. He is the Bishop of Rome. He head of the worldwide Catholic Church and head of the state or sovereign of the Vatican City State. Pope Francis, a spiritual leader to more than 1/6 of the world's population. On September 14, 2021, the feast of the Exaltation of the Cross, Pope Francis presided over the Byzantine Divine Liturgy of Saint John Chrysostom, occupied by the Metropolitan Archbishop of Presburg, John Jack, and other Greek and Latin Catholic prelates. Bishop Manuel Nin, Apostolic Exarch of Greece. He is the leader of Catholic clergy in Byzantine. Bishop Manuel Nin is a current Apostolic Exarch of the Byzantine Rite Catholics in Greece.
Otto I, also known as the Otto the Great, was the oldest son of Henry I the Fowler and Matilda of Ringelheim. He was the East Frankian king of 936 and the Holy Emperor of 962 until his death on 973. When his father died in 1936, he inherited the Duchy of Saxony and became the King of Germans. And with the newfound king title, he continued his father's goal by unifying the German tribes into a single kingdom and expanded the king's power. He also assigned his family to be the most important duchies in the kingdom to reduce the amount of duchies in his country, and transformed the Roman Catholic Church in Germany to strengthen the royal authority. When Otto defeated the Magyars or the Hungarians at the Battle of Legfeld in 955, that led to the end of the Hungarian invasion to the Western Europe. His victorious battle against the Magyars earned his reputation as the savior of Christendom, and by 961, he conquered the Kingdom of Italy and started the so-called Ottonian Renaissance. And he was crowned as the Holy Roman Emperor in 962 by Pope John VII in Rome. In Otto's later years, he struggled to stabilize his rule over Italy and had some conflicts with the papacy. He also wanted to improve the relations with the Byzantine Empire, but that opposed on his claims on being an emperor. So his work around that conflict is the Theophano, the Byzantine princess, married his son Otto II in 972 of April. And in 972 of August, Otto returned in Germany and died on Memleben in 973 of May. And because of that, Otto II became the next Holy Roman Empire.
The Black Death was a devastating global epidemic of bubonic plague that struck Europe and Asia in the mid-1300s. The plague arrived in Europe in October 1347 when 12 ships from the Black Sea stopped at the Sicilian port of Messina. Black Death was a disease that spread widely throughout Europe in the year 1347 to 1351. It was one of the most devastating pandemics in history. The disease was caused by the bacterium called Yersinia pestis that circulates among wild rodents.
Affected countries: China, Italy, France, England, and Scandinavia. Italy, France, England, and Scandinavia lost between 50% and 60% of their population in 2 years, while approximately 50% of China's population perished. The cause of bubonic plague or Black Death. The unhygienic living conditions were one of the main reasons why the plague spread quickly. The explanation is that mabilis na kumalat ang disease nung unang panahon dahil hindi ganun kalinis mamuhay ang mga tao at nagsisiksikan sila sa isang lugar. Kung saan mataas ang chance na marami ang pwede magkaroon ng disease na yan. This disease was carried from rats and fleas to humans from a bite. That's it.
The Black Death was a devastating global epidemic of bubonic plague that struck Europe and Asia in the mid-1300s. The plague arrived in Europe in October 1347 when 12 ships from the Black Sea stopped at the Sicilian port of Messina. People gathered on the docks were met with a horrifying surprise. Most sailors aboard the ships were dead, and those still alive were gravely ill, and covered in black voids that oozed blood and pus. This is the cause of many Jews' death, not because they were affected with the Black Death global epidemic, it's because they were massacred because they were accused that they are the cause of the Black Death global epidemic, which is not true until now.
Good day. My name is Dalo Hernandez, and the assigned topic to me was civil unrest and the rise of the middle class. So first, let us define what is civil unrest. Civil unrest, or also known as civil wars, it is a conflict within the borders of Byzantine Empire, which means that time there was a lot of opposition and protest that is happening inside the city or the empire. Because of this civil war or civil unrest, the middle class have a chance to be part of the political circuit. So the middle class here are also known as the businessman or the merchants. Next.
Surviving Roman cities. Due to their strategic location that attracted traders, surviving Roman cities were newer and more innovative than those in the northern Europe. Some of their examples of innovations are concrete. A dry aggregate, perhaps rubble, was mixed with a mortar that would take in water and harden. Next, the Colosseum. It was built with the spoils of war to celebrate victory. And last, aqueducts. For the transporting water, for drinking, public baths, and sewerage system.
The fall of the Byzantine Empire. In May 29, 1453, the Ottoman Empire defeated the Byzantine Empire. So the reason why the Byzantine Empire lost because of the advanced technology that the Ottoman Empire has. The Ottoman Empire, or also known as the Ottoman Turks, which have a gunpowder which most likely came from the traders of China. Then they use it in their cannon, which it destroyed the walls of the Byzantine Empire or the defenses of the Byzantine Empire. Not only that, the walls of the Byzantine Empire and every cities of the Byzantine Empire crumbled. That is why the Ottoman Empire defeated the Byzantine Empire, which the Byzantine Empire era ends. That's all. Thank you.